up, everybody? What up, everybody? Let's talk about it. It's April Dawn. What up, everybody? It's April Dawn. What up, everybody? It's April Dawn. Let's talk about it. What up, everybody? It's April Dawn. Let's talk about it. This is the Other Black Girl episode 4, 5, 6, and whatever else I can fit in this video. All right, y'all. I got a little bit more time on my hands. My plate has closed, so I'm back at the office. As you can see, tussling with my toddler back here. Say hey.
Hey, boy.
Say hey, everybody.
Hey, boy.
This is my big baby, y'all. He's 2 years old now. Look how big he is. Say, ooh. Hi, yay, yay. Oh, my baby. All right, so let's get started. Let's go ahead. We're not going to waste no time. Let's go ahead into it. One thing I do like about this show is that the episodes are pretty short. They're 30, 40 minutes at the most, okay? So episode 4, we start off with Malika and Nelia finished in their workout. They're finishing in their yoga section. And then Malika compliments Nelia's new look, and she tells her it's all because of Hazel. Hazel's done this, Hazel's done that. And damn, she was like, did Hazel teach you how to walk, talk, girl, and eat? Like, did Hazel teach you everything, girl? She gave the proposal to Richard, and she really felt different in her clothes. And, you know, her friend reassures her that, girl, he would have liked your proposal no matter what you had on, okay? It don't matter because Hazel got you dressed up. Nelia invites Malika over to her house so that they can have dinner together and that she can meet Hazel and become friends with Hazel, okay? So now outside the yoga club, outside the yoga studio, Nelia bumps into Shani. She thinks it's very strange, right? So she arrives at the office and Hazel is, you know, excited about her new look and agrees to join her for dinner to meet Malika and all that good stuff. Okay, so Vera frantically asks her to print 2 copies of the document and emails her to meet her in her office urgently. So basically, they got the report back from the sensitivity reader, and everything that Nelia said times 10 is wrong with this book. And if they remove everything, they will have no book left. So Nelia says, I'm going to write a memo, and then we can talk about with everybody and decide what we all going to do. Sophie interrupts the meeting and says that Richard wants to see her. Vera naturally thinks she talking about her, but she's actually talking about Nelia. And so everybody's shocked by this. And when Nelia gets up to the office, Richard tells her that he's been so inspired by their conversation the other day. And so she kind of goes on, but he interrupts her and asks her if she wants to meet Diana Gordon, who is coincidentally right there in the office, right there. So she turns around and it's Gabrielle, y'all know who I'm talking about, Beauvoir, okay? Her. She is Diana Gordon. I think that's her last name, if I'm not mistaken, okay? Richard asked Sophie to get everybody together into the conference room so they can pitch ideas at Diana. And that's what they do, and they all pitch their ideas. You know, a cookbook, a rewritten a version of King Lear, which was just crazy stupid. And then Neely suggests a re-release of Burning Heart, perhaps with a new forward and, you know, all that type of stuff. Although Diana says Burning Heart is too painful for her to ever do again, she does agree that this is the best idea that she's heard all day. Later on, when she sees her, she applauds her for having guts to even bring it to her. And she says, you have potential, but you need some polish. So why don't you come to my house this weekend and we can kind of talk shop about the business. Nelia arrives at Diana's house, and Hazel texts her to have fun because remember Hazel was coming over for dinner. Nelia apologizes once again over wine for bringing up Burning Heart, and then we see Hazel is arriving at Nelia's house to meet her boyfriend Owen. I think that's his name. I might be lying. Owen and Malika. Okay, so Malika kind of shoot at her like you ain't jealous that she meeting with Diana and you not meeting with Diana, and she said no, she not jealous, and she was like she's happy when something good happens to her friends, supposedly. Nelia looks around Diana's house when she goes to the restroom, and she thought she heard something in one of the rooms, and she saw like a light flicker or something like that. So she looks through some old pictures of Diana after they, you know, meet up with each other again. They talking, they looking at old pictures, and she suggests to Diana that she write a memoir that would tell her whole story. And she said she's wanted to kind of do that, but she's never really found an editor that she can trust. So this is something that they decided they can do together. Okay, so Neely suggests that they work together, and Diana agrees, and she says that they can discuss it with Richard. So when Nelia gets home, Malika calls her into the other room, right? And she tell her she don't like this girl, okay? She a fake ass bitch. She was just fully coming for you like 2-3 weeks ago, and now y'all friends. Like, girl, something ain't right. Okay, so they realize they don't have no wine, and then Owen and Nelia leave out to go get the wine so that, you know, Malika and Hazel could talk to each other, whatever. And so when they was all in there together, Hazel said that she was this, like, TLC was like one of her favorite groups, and when TLC song was playing, she didn't even know it was TLC. So that's how you know she a fake ass hoe. She lying. Okay, it's that whole line. She is not who she say she is. Okay, and she basically tells Malika that they've gotten over whatever their issue was. You know what I'm saying? Like she need to get over it too because Malika told her, "Girl, I'm not falling for this act. My friend might be falling for it, but bitch, I ain't falling for it, hoe." Okay, and she like, "Girl, you need to get over it. We got over it because it's really not your business." But let me tell you something. If somebody mess with my friend, that's my business. Period. Okay? Because she might not be able to see it, but I will. My friend could be mad at me and we will work our relationship out later. Not your business is what is my business. Because, girl, I don't even know you, girl. Okay? We don't know you. So when Nelia comes back, she asks to talk to her privately, and she tells her that Hazel is a fake asshole. Okay, she tells her about the TLC thing, and Nelia says that Malika is overacting. She's doing too much, and she says, Malika said, "Girl, I know you started for some melanin in your life, but this is not it." I was like, "Ooh, girl, that hit low," because her boyfriend white. I was like, "Ooh." Not starved for melanin. The shade, she threw a whole tree at her friend. And her friend was like, "Girl, you got to go, girl. We need to enjoy our dinner, bitch, and you need to leave." Now, I ain't gonna lie, I'd have been mad, but I would have did exactly what she did, was go fix me a play hoe, because I done wait all night for this goddamn food to be fixed, and the shit ain't even fixed. Y'all didn't even make it right. Okay, but I'm gonna take some anyway, because I've been sitting up here waiting all goddamn night. You damn right, Malika. Okay? So about after 36 hours, Nelia goes and apologizes to Malika, and she tell her, "Listen, I still don't get good vibes from this bitch, but you know what? We could not be friends with..." Stop. She says, she understands they do not have to like the same people. She have to work with Hazel, so they're going to have some type of relationship, okay? So let's just not force each other to hang out together no more, and that'll be fine, okay? Malika like, "Girl, I'm going to be there for you when the shit fall apart, everything fall left," okay? So Diana meets with Nelia at work, and she's suggesting bringing on Hazel into the product, okay? Nelia suggests to bring Hazel into the project. Diana's like, "Girl, for real? Like, you want to share? I would think you would want to do this whole thing by yourself." But she's like, "No." She convinced me to talk to Richard. She convinced me to do this. She convinced me to do that. And so, I want to help her out. And she was like, "Girl, you giving her a whole lot of credit. Like, I wouldn't be giving her all that credit, but okay." So Nelia tells Hazel about everything, about the news. And then she apologizes for, whatever happened during dinner. So Hazel's kind of stunned that she wants her to work with her. And Vera then asks Nelia not to send out the memo about the sensitivity read and says she's going to handle it with Colin. Child, who knows? So then we see Hazel visits Malika's workplace. Okay, and if this had been me and my story, I wouldn't have sat there like Malika. I would have cussed her to the smooth white meat. Okay, I probably would have lost my job that day. But she came up to the job and she warns her not to mess with her, because she gonna be around. She gonna be in this girl life. She gonna be in her work life and her personal life. So you better get used to it, or else. Or else what, bitch? Or what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Or what? I don't like that hoe. Okay? And then we see Nelia heading home, and Shani approaches her again on the subway. She says her name is not Hazel, it's Eva. And then she put a note in her bag, and she asking her to meet her the next day at 9 p.m. On to episode number 5. Y'all. So episode 5 of The Other Black Girl begins with Shani waking up at 5:30 a.m. Okay, after working out, she heads out to spy on Nelia. The following scenes show that it has been her routine. This has been this girl routine. She's been doing this for a while. Okay, Owen calls Nelia when she's about to get to work, and he worries that she's being followed, because now she know, what I'm saying, this girl been following her or whatever. So Nelia tells him that she's fine, and the woman seemed to have no problem with her, but with Hazel. And so, whom she is convinced is named Eva for some reason, right? So Owen makes Nelia promise not to meet with Shani, and she says she will ask for some answers from Hazel, which is stupid as hell. Like, girl, why would you go to Hazel to ask her about this shit when she gonna lie about it, girl? Okay, because my thing is, if it's random ass bitches running up to me, handing me letters talking about don't mess with this girl, I ain't messing with the girl. You ain't got to tell me twice. God done dropped you a line, sis. Pay attention. Nelia gets to work and meets with Vera, who is crazy, right? Who tells her that Colin's book has been leaked, and the response has been horrible, child. It done got down to the internet, and the people is not happy. They said every social media is coming at Wagner, including Jesse Watson, which is an author that's like a black author or whatever. So the internet concession is that Wagner is racist, and Vera regrets not listening to Nelia about the book. She should have listened to her, girl. You should have listened the first time. She admits that the book is terrible, and Nelia wonders why Vera did not do anything. She said she was trying to do what was best for Wagner, what was suitable for Wagner, which is stupid. We're trying to hide some stuff. Like, white people be really on some other stuff. Now, as far as Vera's character, I don't think Vera's character is necessarily a bad person. I think she is a woman who had to deal with politics of being a woman in a corporate America. So she had to get Diana coffee. She had to, you know, scoot up behind these black women. So she don't have no problem working for a black woman, working for black people. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think she's racist. I think she was just trying to keep her position, and that's how she knew how to do it. And she did it so much that she couldn't see or make room for innovative in the way the world has changed. You know what I'm saying? And she just kind of got, you know, X'd out because of that. I don't think Vera was necessarily no bad person. She tells her that they think about dropping Colin, even though he is the author that's keeping this whole building afloat. Okay? So she helps her. She asks her to help with damage control until Richard comes back from speaking with the board, and Neely agrees to help. Hazel calls in sick, and the place is in chaos, child. And everybody leans on Nelia to handle this crisis. So Vera calls everybody into a meeting and to talk about the issue. Malika sends a 911 text, and Nelia steps out to call him. Malika is checking on her because of the stalker Shiny. Okay, so Malika just spotted Richard Wagner and Hazel eating out. Remember, Hazel called in? And she calls Nelia to share the gossip. Something ain't right. Why is y'all meeting up? Okay, Malika thinks that Richard and Hazel are having some type of affair, and Nelia reconsiders meeting with Shiny. Very calls her back to her office, and she hangs up abruptly. So she was gonna meet with Shiny, but then she hangs up. Okay, so Vera decides that they need to issue Colin needs to issue an apology for this book that's so horrible, but Nelia disagrees. Macy kind of pushes her to share what her views think, and she says they need to cancel his book release. Okay, and issue an apology on behalf of Wagner and not Colin. Vera insists that the book needs to be published since it's what Richard wants, and asks Nelia to leave since she is fired. Okay, she's fired. Okay, Richard and Hazel walk into the conference room, and Richard tells Nelia it's not going nowhere, honey. He says she's not going anywhere, and he needs to talk to Vera privately. But she insists. Okay, she called him out and said, "Baby, you can say it in front of everybody. Okay, are you sure?" And she tells them that Wagner will drop Colin's book, and effectively she is fired. Okay, for trying to bury the read and all the stuff that she was trying to do. Okay, and he even has more things to announce. The company is going to pause the release of Diana Gardner's memoir and instead prioritize the re-release of Burning Heart, with Nelia running point as the assistant editor. Hazel is going to be her assistant. In addition, Diana is going to be releasing an imprint celebrating like black people, diverse writers, and all that kind of stuff. And Burning Heart is going to be the centerpiece. So he apologizes for ignoring the company's problems for so long, and he announces that he will steer the company towards a new route and asks everybody for their help, making Wagner a place they call home. To me, it was given. She put that pussy on him. Diana put that pussy on him, and you know, that sweet pussy. And you know what I'm saying? He called his wife and said, "I ain't never coming home no more. I'm finna change this whole situation. Okay, I done went black and I ain't going back. Okay, or I done went back to black and I ain't never going back." Okay, so that's what it was given for me. Or she done put a spell on this nigga. Okay, either way. Okay, whatever you say, Richard. I feel bad for Vera, though, because Vera, I felt bad for her character. I'm not going to lie. I think she just fell into the pitfalls of not being forward thinking, okay? Colin comes to Wagner's office, and he makes this big to-do about seeing Vera. And Richard asks to see him in his office, but he refuses, saying he's not going to be summoned like no child. And Richard tells him he is no longer a Wagner author and somebody called security child. And Nelia happily asks him to drag out a clown who does not get it. Later on their way home, Hazel confesses that she told Richard about Vera bearing the sensitivity read. So she is the one who went and told everything. She says that somebody had to do something, that she knew Nelia would not do nothing since Vera had been her boss for 2 years. She was not promoting Nelia, and Hazel had to do something. She said they both want to become editors, and she feels sorry for anyone who wants to stand in their way. Now, that was dirty how you did, Vera. You didn't have to do that like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that politics, you know, you trying to politic your way to a certain place in the office, but you ain't have to throw Vera under the bus like that. Damn, that was kind of messed up. While Hazel is getting something out of her purse, Nelia looks at the reflection on the paddle and sees Kendra and Diana in the reflection. Okay, she realizes that Hazel lied about the cake being her grandparents' wedding cake. She says that sometimes One needs to be the person you want to be. And she congratulates Nelia for her promotion. She said something to somebody about a cake. Oh, I got the cake from that bakery. Whatever she was saying, girl, that hoe was lying. She was sitting up there lying. And just to, then she kind of turns like, girl, you just got to be what people want you to be. You know what I'm saying? For the moment. Nelia meets with Shiny and calls Owen to tell him she gonna be late coming home, okay? So she gets to this like karaoke room to wait for Shiny. And then somewhere else, Shiny is getting abducted, girl, by some man outside the building. Some men outside the building, okay? And then we see Kylan going live on social media to say he don't see color. He only sees characters. Like, sir, if you don't go somewhere and go to hell. All right, let's go ahead and do episode 6, okay? So, on episode 6, we begin with Nelia arriving home later than usual, and she's met by Owen and Malika, who are worried about her, obviously, because she has a stalker out here in the streets, right? So, she admits that she had gone to meet with Shiny, but Shiny did not show up. So, Nelia is insecure about whether she trusts Hazel, but she is her, she got to work with the girl, and she can't be acting crazy at work, you know what I'm saying? So, later on that night, Nelia can hardly sleep, and she tries to search for information about Eva on the internet, but she can't find any information just yet. Okay. Next day, Nelia goes to Richard's office and she has to run some ideas by him, about authors maybe they should sign, so forth and so on, right? So he suggests Jesse Watson, which is this, power to the people type writer, and she like, child, I don't think he gonna take our money because he on the news canceling us everywhere he goes. He's like, just work on it. You say you that girl, then go get him. Diana gets to the office and she's looking through some covers, but she doesn't see anything that she likes. And the artist is talking, and Hazel is really dealing with this woman, while Nelia is kind of like off in Neverland thinking about Jesse Washington. And Diana says something about it, like, hey, I guess me and Hazel can make the decision since Nelia is not paying attention to what the hell is going on or whatever. Hazel goes to visit Owen at his school, and she talking about a charity that she started called Young Black and Lit. And, the people tutor and they do poetry reads and stuff, and like pairing with his school to do some stuff or whatever. So, and then she throws in that Nelia been acting weird. Maybe he should check on her, make sure she's good and all of this kind of stuff. Let's just check on our girl. Okay. First of all, why you going to my nigga job? Okay, why are you going up to his job? And you didn't even tell me that you was going up to his job. You just up at his job? No, sis. No. So at home, Owen tells Nelia about her dropping at the school and asks if she been feeling okay. And Nelia gets upset because Owen discusses her mental health with somebody else. Okay, but somebody knocked on the door before they can really get into it. And they left a package for Nelia. And this package is a first edition copy of Burning Heart. Okay, so she spent the rest of the night, going through this book and, already going to sleep on the subway into work. Then Jordan agrees to meet with her. Okay, so in the meantime, Owen and Malika are doing some research, honey, on this hoe, okay? And they looking for information about Hazel. So she not listed on the charity website, which is weird because she said this was her charity, right? And her Instagram only go back 1 year, so that lets you know that she's very new to Instagram. This girl don't really have no imprint on social media, okay? She convinced that Hazel is shady. And she notices that she keeps tagging somebody in her Instagram post, and they suggest that they go to his barbershop so that they can investigate. So Nelia did, when she got the manuscript, I forgot to say that she thought Diana is the one who sent it to her or whatever. And she says, she thanks her for sending it to her, saying that it could inspire her. But she suggests that they should use the original ending. The original ending is a lot different from the ending that they put out. Okay, and Diana says she gonna think about it. Malika and Owen, they go to the barbershop. Nelia is meeting with Jesse Watson at the same time. So Jesse is going to turn down Wagner's offer, as she knew he was going to turn down Wagner's offer. And he offers her a job at the podcast or whatever. So he knows that she set up the meeting that he was going to say no anyway. But he said she will embarrass yourself for the company, but would they do the same thing for you? Okay. So he asked her how long she's ready to compromise for a paycheck, and then he asked her to call him when she's come up out of Wagner and, grown a spine, basically, when you wake up, when you get woke, girl, call me. So Manny tells everybody else, tells them other people, Malika and Owen to get the hell up out of his barbershop. Okay, he's like, are you that shiny person? Get the hell up out of here. Okay, he say he ain't never living in Boston. He don't know nothing about no Boston. He don't know what the hell you talking about. Okay, and they asked him to get the hell out of there. Neely had found a note in the book when she was reading it, right? And she shows Diana the note and asks about the ending of the book. And Diana goes into a diatribe about how she tried to, you know, she wanted that book, and they went back and forth. And then Richard told them to change the ending of the book and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so she said she was still mad at him about it, and you know, he thought it was too dark for white people, basically. And she says, girl, it's 2023. Like, we're allowed to be messy now. Things are different. They're not the same way they used to be. You know what I'm saying? We can live a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You seen Scandal? Look at your jackets, girl. Based on alone, you would love that show. I love the reference. He says the experience that you have by reading the alternate ending of the book is going to touch many different people. Diana finally agrees to it, and they tell Richard about it, okay? So Malika and Owen call Nelia during her lunch break. They tell her about finding Hazel's boyfriend and how he flipped when they mentioned Boston. Malika tells Nelia to call out Hazel on that lie and make her run a new story, or run away to a new city, basically. But Nelia does not believe anything until she talks to Hazel. Nelia decides to ask Hazel if she ever went by the name Eva. She basically tells her everything that's going on. So Hazel gets frantic. She starts tripping. She starts freaking out. She says the lady who told Nelia about it is Shani, a co-worker from Boston who hated her. She's terrified if that Shani followed her, even though she moved cities and changed her name. Hazel is angry at Nelia for not telling her about Shani. So at the end of the episode, we see Hazel go home. She go upstairs to some door. Please be quiet. No, she kind of takes off her mask and she goes up into this room where she got Shani held up in the goddamn room, y'all. Locked up in the room, handcuffed to a pole. She says that Shani should have left her ass alone. So, the story is interesting. It's not really pulling me in like I thought it would. I think they should probably ramp it up and get to the point a little bit faster. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still hanging in there. So I watched the whole season. So I'm going to record the rest of the videos this week. I'll probably do 7, 8, 9, and 10 all together because it looks like we got a lead in for another season of the show. So hopefully it gets a second season. I don't know. We'll see. But I want to hear your thoughts on episodes 4, 5, and 6. Y'all leave your thoughts in the comments, okay? Don't forget to like. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to subscribe. My play just closed yesterday. So I have a little bit more time on my hands, you know what I'm saying, y'all? So I'll be hollering at y'all a little bit more often. I ain't gonna lie to you and tell you I'm back, because that's a lie, okay? But I'll be back a little bit more consistently once I find me some good shows to talk about, all right? So I'll holler at y'all next time. Peace. Over and over again, and it won't stop.
I get the right.
Can you,
We are Dada.
all right.